Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be part 2 to my developers speaking on new changes in development. I made a part 1 a couple hours ago. I'm going to link it down below as well. But pretty much what this is some guy on Reddit, he posted highlights of what developers said on their official forums, right? I read through all the developer changes, and I'm pretty much going to give my insight and pretty much what I think all this means and how stuff is going to be done in terms of the updates, right? I'm going to link the original Reddit post below as well, so go check him out, go upvote him and all that, because he's doing a great job compiling all of it together. But yeah, my script, like always, will be on the screen right now. It's going to be down below, and yeah, all the links will be down below as well. So let's start it out. So the first one is AI Lords problems with sieging and defending. So the devs actually made a very nice, what would you call it? It's a very nice illustration of how pretty much AI decides what to do next, whether to go besiege a castle or town, or to go defend a town or castle, right? And right now, I'm going to put it on the screen. It's probably already on the screen. And I'm going to pretty much talk about it, kind of explain it a little bit the best way I can. Make it like a simple explanation, because if you just look at this picture, you might not know what the hell is going on, because he's pretty much showing parts of the code that's inside the game and also what it technically means, right? With all the red arrows, not arrows, but red lines showing what all of this means. But let me go over some of the terms here and just to further explain it, right? So powerScore, that's located on the top left. And what this determines is how many total defenders are at the fief and going to the fief. And this is to see if the particular fief has enough defense, right? That's what the powerScore pretty much is. That's what it's checking in the code. Then the distance score determines how far the AI Lord is from the fief. So, if they're too far away, they might not even be considered for this whole calculation to work, right? Then we have settlement importance score, and what that determines is which fief is more important in terms of the world. Towns tend to be more important than castles, as stated by the devs. And then the other three in the box, the red boxes you see kind of on the bottom left, right? Those two big red boxes. The other things that are listed there, which are the already selected by another army constant, leader needs gold score, and the army type score, those seem to stay constant as of right now. And those parts are pretty much what's considered in the first box is the distance score, the power score, and the three constants, and the settlement importance score, and that equals the final score. And then also, as you can see to the right of the red boxes, the big ones, they have pretty much a food counter that accounts how much food there is, and also a party size usage, which is how effective the troops going to the fief would be, right? So, for example, if you have 1,000 troops and there's only it's only needed 100 more troops at the fief, then your 1,000 troops are not as effective in that scenario, right? Because they don't need all 1,000 of your troops. They only need 100. But then all of these factors, as you can see, by the way, I don't know what current BEH bonus means. I kind of read around, but I don't know what that actually means. I don't know if that's an abbreviation for something, but yeah. Then all of these factors right here, as you can see on the screen, they're all multiplied together. And this gives the AI Lords a number, and it seems the higher the number always gets chosen. As you can see in this example, the AI Lords chose to defend, Legata instead of the castle. And that is because, as you can see, the settlement importance score is a lot higher, and the overall calculation gave it a bigger, I guess, score, right? Or bigger number. And the devs also state that they are looking to up needed defenses max, which, if we go back to our example, is what you need to calculate power score. And needed defense max has to pretty much do how much defenders are going to be needed to successfully win the encounter, right? That's what it pretty much does when it comes to the power score. They also state that they want to lower settlement importance score, which has to do how important the AI lords see a fief, right? Like stated before, towns are more important than castles. Now, devs also say that they fixed a problem where once an AI lord starts besieging a place, not attacking it, like not doing the simulation, but beforehand when you start building up your siege towers and rams, the besieging process, they will stick to it even though a high value fief that they own is being attacked, and they can defend it, but they don't go and defend. But the devs say they have fixed this problem, and in the new upcoming patch, the AI lords will do a better job defending when they are needed. Okay, so that's pretty much the big presentation they pretty much showed us here, right? With the, what do you call it? The coding example. I don't know what exactly to call this, but I enjoyed that they actually went kind of in depth and kind of showed us kind of inside their code. It's a very cool concept I haven't seen a lot of developers do. But now let's move on to some kind of, I would say, smaller changes compared to this one, right? So AI lords get a daily troop XP, right? This was asked, and the devs state that AI lords need daily passive XP so their armies become more diverse and not just full of recruits. He said that also this might change in the future when more perks are reworked and implemented. That will help the AI lords, obviously, have a better diverse army. I think this was personally done because, AI lords, they don't fight as much as the player would, so obviously they'd be roaming around with just recruits because they don't get into as much fights where troops can get their XP from. So I don't think this is a really big problem in my opinion. Now, next one. Marrying should unite your clan and your spouse's clan together. So devs state they are currently not working on anything marriage related, but could be considered later on. It kind of makes sense what the person stated was, if I marry, let's say, a king's daughter, I should at least be, at least allies with that kingdom, right? It kind of makes sense, but we'll see what they do with it later on. Now, we have children born with 0 skill points and never receiving any. Dev stated that this is fixed and will be implemented next upcoming patch, so that sounds good. Then we have auto-resolve still causing high-level troops to die to looters, but pressing F1, F3 in the same situation results in 0 losses. Let me tell you, I'm still mad about this as well. But the devs state that that auto-resolve is always being tweaked, and also some new perks will provide your troops with more passive XP for faster leveling, which I think that will help with replenishing your army if this does occur. But hopefully they do tweak auto-resolve to a point where it's kind of the same way as F1, F3 works. But, yeah, we'll see how that works. But next one, more weapon parts and crafting choices for smithing. Devs state that the crafting system is not finalized. Not the crafting and smithing system is not finalized, and a lot more tweaks are expected in the future. New perk designs. So devs state that new perks will have 2 effects so they can overall provide better utility for the player. I agree with this. I think that's a great design because a lot of perks, they only work in some certain scenarios and they're too specific sometimes, But giving it 2 effects makes it so it's not sometimes completely useless and sometimes very useful, right? It kind of gives it that middle ground, which I think is a very good change that they're doing to the new perks. Now, in-game banner improvements. Devs state it's not on their to-do list, but it may be looked at in the future. I have no problem with it, but I understand people enjoy it, so yeah, I think there's some good mods out there, though. I think there's a lot of in-game banner mods, to be honest with you. Next one, though. Player made hideouts like a Viking conquest. So pretty much what this person stated was they kind of wanted to see if players themselves can make hideouts and kind of like invade areas and stuff like that. And the devs state that they are working on fixes and improvements to current hideouts on the map, but they do not plan to make any player hideouts. As they didn't say as of right now or anything. They just said they do not plan to do it. So you might have to look for mods if you're looking for that, right? Next one, pregnancy, death, and succession. Succession means like, if you die, your son or daughter or your kid, they become, the next ruler of your kingdom if you own a kingdom or anything like that, right? Or ruler of your clan. The devs state that death and succession is already built in the game, but that it's bugged as of right now. But they are working on fixes and making it, more bug-free very soon. Pregnancy and infertility balancing is being discussed, but it's not a high priority at the moment. A lot of people say that in some playthroughs the wife doesn't want to have any kids, and in some playthroughs the wife has 27 kids. Right? It's kind of weird. It's kind of random. I've had the game. I've had the what do you call it? I've had one of my walkthroughs where my wife did not want to have any kids, and the second walkthrough, literally I married her, and 2 days later she had a kid. It's kind of random, but yeah, they said it's not a high priority as of this moment. Now, last one. Someone stated, is there a way for a player to turn off aging and live forever? Would that ever come to the game? The devs state they do not make... Alrighty, and the last one. So someone stated, is there a way for players to turn off aging and live forever? Will that ever become a thing? The devs state that they do not plan to make that an option. So they kind of want to make it more realistic. They don't want to really give you an option where aging isn't, then you can only keep the same character. They kind of want you to, you know, if you're going to have a long playthrough, eventually your main character is going to die, and then you're going to have to get your kids to do it, which I think is cool. I think it's a cool concept overall. But yeah, those are all the updates from developers on the forums. Hopefully I explained it good. Hopefully, you know, gave you guys some insight. Like always, script and links will be down below. And yeah, like always, ask me questions and stay safe.